topic for today's class is post-cardiac arrest syndrome, and the aim for
So,
this.
Jagnoor, can you introduce yourself?
I am Dr. Jagnoor, first year anesthesia PG, currently posted in critical care, and I've got this opportunity for presenting this topic. And our main aim is next time, whenever we see the patients, we can manage accordingly and learn something from today's class.
So, have you recently witnessed any patient who is a
Yes, sir,
post-cardiac
we
arrest?
have witnessed.
So, idea is that because we are receiving a lot of cases who
Yes,
are
sir.
having a post-cardiac arrest status, if you know what is going to happen in them as the physiological changes or the pathophysiological changes, it's become easy for you to make an interpretation of it,
Right,
and you can anticipate a lot of problems in them, and accordingly you can manage,
right,
right?
right.
And obviously this class, you have seniors members who are sitting with us, Dr. Datta, senior professor with us, Dr. Abhinandan, consultant with us. Obviously we have postgraduates, and we have interns, and we have Vernica as well, junior resident. So let's start with the case presentation. Post cardiac arrest syndrome. Okay.
Post-cardiac arrest syndrome is a complex and critical issue in resuscitated patients undergone cardiac arrest. Ischemic perfusion injury occurs in multiple organs due to the return of spontaneous circulation. During the post-cardiac arrest period, several systemic complications including acute respiratory distress syndrome, acute renal failure, refractory shock, and disseminated intravascular coagulation occur and are associated with mortality. Nolhan proposed the term post-cardiac arrest syndrome, which was associated with first post-cardiac arrest brain injury, second post-cardiac arrest myocardial dysfunction, third systemic ischemic reperfusion response, and fourth persistent precipitating pathology. Further, the cardiac arrest syndrome consists of 5 phases, which includes immediate phase, that is for first 20 minutes after the return of spontaneous circulation. Second, the early phase from 20 to 6 to 12 hours of ROSC. Intermediate is from 6 to 12 hours to 72 hours, and recovery phase is 3 days of the ROSC.
So
And
explain
rehab.
this slide, Jagnoor. I want you to explain this slide because you made acha.
I-
This is better. Okay.
Yes. So for the first, as the patient has received ROSC, for the first 20 minutes, it will be the
What is ROSC?
return of spontaneous circulation.
So this happens once. So what is ROS for them, for the interns who are sitting with us?
When the patient undergoes cardiac arrest, we start with the CPR, and as the patient achieves sinus rhythm and heart rate and BP is achieved, so there is a phase of hypoxia. So during that phase, there are certain organs undergo hypoxic injury. There is a decreased blood supply, due to which the patient will in the post ROSC.
So okay, I will just reframe what you are saying. Initial first two lines, they were exactly what you were. They were exactly in alignment with ROS. ROS means, as the name suggests, return of the spontaneous circulation. We are, if you see each one of us, we are operating on spontaneous circulation. Now, when the patient goes into cardiac arrest, what happens? Patient heart stops, cease. The heart stop, the circulation cease, right? There's no circulation. So what you have to do, you do chest compression. Now this chest compression is keeping the patient alive, right? When I say alive, it means perfusion to the vital organs, including brain, coronary, kidney, all this, right? There will be a time when you will correct the reason for the cardiac arrest, and the patient will revert back to spontaneous circulation, which otherwise you, me, and patient is having, right? So it's basically this return to the spontaneous heart activity, which should be able to maintain your blood pressure, circulation, which happens in any other routine person, right? So ROSE is a term which we used for a cardiac arrest patient, right? हम जब CPR करते हैं तो दो ही चीज़ें हो सकती हैं, या तो पेशेंट आउटकम आएगा या पेशेंट की डेथ हो जाएगी. So when the death happens, obviously you say that this is the cease of effort is there, and the patient has not regained spontaneous circulation. But when the patient regain the circulation, we call them as ROSC. ठीक है? So there are 4 phases you said, huh?
Yes, sir. Pathophysiology of post-cardiac arrest syndrome. First is the post-cardiac arrest brain injury. Sorry, this is rotated. Post-cardiac arrest myocardial dysfunction, systemic ischemic reperfusion response, and persistent precipitating pathology. We'll be discussing about
So
that.
4 things, what are them? First is post cardiac arrest,
Brain injury.
myocardial dysfunction, which is also known as myocardial stunning,
Yes.
right? So that is one. Secondly, you said
Brain injury.
ischemic reperfusion response. There will be a time when there will be no circulation, and then there will be a time when there will be a sudden reperfusion to the
Reperfusion.
organs, which causes reperfusion injury to them,
Injury. Right.
right? And third, you said post cardiac arrest, brain injury,
Brain injury.
which happens again. It's a response to the ischemic reperfusion. And the last, you said precipitating factor,
Precipitating factors.
precipitating pathology. You
Yes.
said, okay, precipitating pathology. Okay.
Post cardiac arrest brain injury, pathophysiology, impaired cerebrovascular autoregulation, cerebral edema, post ischemic neurodegeneration, which will clinically manifest as coma, seizures, myoclonus, cognitive dysfunction, persistent vegetative state, secondary Parkinsonism, cortical stroke, spinal stroke, or brain death.
What do you mean by this?
So, as the blood supply to the brain will be limited, we can get patients who will present to us with any of these features.
So basically, the ischemic injury which happens to the
Yes.
brain, right?
Yes.
You said, na, impaired cerebrovascular autoregulation, and whenever there is going to be reperfusion, it will lead to the cerebral edema.
Yes.
Do you understand this word, Abhinandan? Would you like to make them understand what do you mean by ischemic reperfusion injury?
Basically, after the circulation is resumed, there is already.
You can take this.
So, as far as I understand what she means by impaired cerebrovascular autoregulation in this brain injury, the cerebral perfusion pressure is autoregulated in the normal person. According to the BP, it will, that is the cerebral perfusion pressure, which is the difference between the MAP and the intracranial pressure, that is regulated by an autoregulatory mechanism. In patients with post cardiac arrest, that mechanism is not there. So basically, that if there's BP is fluctuating, according to cerebral perfusion pressure will not be regulated. That is right, sir. In that, and sir, what you were asking, reperfusion injury, I think when suddenly in a tissue which is going ischemic injury,
Ischemic injury.
and then the circulation is resumed, I think there are lots of
Inflammatory.
byproducts which are there and are released into the system. That is one thing. And sir, also oxygen free radical injury is also there. Rest, sir, I think it will be better if you will elaborate, sir.
No, I think you're right. But because we have interns and listeners also in the in the presentation, so one thing which we need to understand: what happens when the circulation is going to cease? The neuroglial cells or the brain cells, they're very sensitive to hypoxia, right? So around 8 to 10 minutes of hypoxemia is sufficient enough to kill the cells, right? So ischemia, when it happens in the form of cardiac arrest, these brain cells, they start getting degenerated. They're very sensitive. And obviously this degeneration is also going to release a lot of inflammatory mediators, which you were talking about. So a lot of inflammatory mediators, free radicals, everything is going to release, which is going to cause secondary injury to the brain. Primary injury happens because of ischemia. There's no circulation at all, right? So it's a hypoxia. Ischemia leading to hypoxemia, right? Now, ischemia relating to hypoxemia will lead to the hypoxemic or the hypoxic degeneration of the neuroglial cells. And this damage which is happening is going to release inflammatory mediators, which is going to invite the secondary damage to the brain, right? Now, this happens during hypoxia. What will happen when you have a return of spontaneous circulation? There will be a rebound, increase in the circulation. And whenever the area which already has got damage, which has ischemic metabolites, is going to flush again with the circulation. Now, this mediators which otherwise were disturbing the local milieu, which was exactly, can you just ask somebody to start this presentation? So what happens? These mediators, they were actually whatever the ischemic mediators or the mediators which happens because of the neuronal degeneration, they were lying into the local milieu. Now when the recirculation gets established, they're going to get flush into the systemic circulation, and which causes systemic inflammatory response syndrome in them. Now the milieu which was local is now become from local to global, right? So it becomes a systemic issue for you, and this causes reperfusion injury. In fact, many of the time you will see, Rahul, can you just restart this presentation? In fact, you will see the patients who are coming sick. So Usha and Jagnu, for you, I'm telling you because we don't have any other PGs. The patients who are coming very sick, you take an ABG in them who are not having any good circulation, you find ABG lactate is not so high. Lactate is 3, 4, right? But they're very sick. And you will say, then why the lactate is not so high? Why there's no significant acidosis? And the moment you resuscitate them and you improve their circulation, you find their acidosis get worse. So we fail to understand, we fail to conquer why it is happening so. It happens because what you measured initially was the representation of the local milieu first, and the moment you have resuscitated them well, improve the perfusion, improve the circulation, now all the ischemic metabolites which were otherwise lying in the local milieu, they release and become systemic. And that is why, yeah. So SIRS, and you will have hyperlactatemia or the lactic acidosis. So this is a common response with them. Ischemia causes primary insult, reperfusion causes secondary insult. And the tertiary result happens because of free radical injury, right? So 3 things happen in them. So have you realized they have, brain is the one organ, which you have said, heart is the second organ, and third you talked about any other organ? No, just go to the slide. Post cardiac arrest, post myocardial brain injury. You talked
Brain
about.
injury,
You talked about the
myocardial.
heart, and you talked about the SIRS, which पीछे जाते हैं. हाँ, persistent pathology. हाँ, वो तो एक अलग चीज है. Point यहाँ पे ये है कि they have highlighted 2 major organs, the brain and the heart. That is why we say CPCR, cardiopulmonary cerebral resuscitation. These are 2 major vital organs which are. They are not talking about acute kidney injury. They are not talking about splanchnic ischemia. They are not talking about lungs, ARDS or lung injury. So try to understand. You have to limit this information. Post cardiac arrest, when you are talking about, is more specifically, you're talking about the post cardiac arrest myocardial injury, and you're talking about the brain injury. 2 things which happen inevitably to everyone. A lungs injury and something, they are also important, which we are going to discuss. But these are 2 major systems which get affected. And obviously your systemic ischemia reperfusion response. Okay? Why it is known as a syndrome?
Group of symptoms.
So constellation of sign and symptoms.
Yes.
When you have so many things, you club them together, it becomes a syndrome. It's not a single disease, single organ. Right? Yes. Okay. Do you have any patient who has post cardiac arrest brain injury right now in ICU?
Probably the few days.
So I request you, Dr. Abhinandan, make interns see that patient because they can correlate. We are talking about post cardiac arrest brain injury. Then where is the patient we have who has a brain injury? Bed number 7 is the one where you can have some degree of brain injury.
Yeah, that was because of that only we.
No. That patient is having a brain injury to the extent that he is completely brain dead. Here you're not talking last is brain dead.
Yes,
but we are talking about the patients who has cognitive dysfunction, the cortical stroke, spinal stroke. We are talking about the initial presentation which can happen to a patient with post cardiac arrest because he has cognitive dysfunction.
Yes, sir.
And he might throw the seizures.
We had a doubt, sir, in morning.
So that's what I'm telling you. These things they will be seen. I don't know about, but I can anticipate.
Yes, sir.
And so that's what the beauty about the medicine. If you understand the subject, you can anticipate 90% of the problems,
Right.
and it become easy for you. And then it's very charming that you know what is happening. Everything is happening according to you. Karta dharta, nahi?
In night, I was reading about it. In morning, we saw that patient, and he was having uprolling of the eyes. Mere dimag mein wahi aaya ki maybe
You
this
won't
is-
believe. Yesterday, I received 2 messages from 2 of my close friends, one from Middle East and one from UK. And both of them, they asked me, no discussion between us. And both of them, I will show you the message, then you will believe me. Both of them, they asked me, you know what? Can you share some article on post cardiac arrest? I will show you. I will show you because then you will believe. No, it happens.
Telepathy.
And the same day,
Just see.
we have found that.
See. And I haven't replied them deliberately.
We are going to
We
reply.
discussed it and the patient came here on the
Ah.
same
One of the patients
Yeah.
having the
So, and we were having
Same
a reflection. So everything happens because the way if you have very strong emotions related to something, it will happen.
It will happen.
This is how the law of attraction works.
Right.
You know, you make it up now, because I was so much damn interested in post cardiac arrest that everything is around post cardiac arrest. Everybody is talking about post cardiac arrest.
Right, sir.
ठीक है.
Potential treatments: therapeutic hypothermia, early hemodynamic optimization, airway protection and mechanical ventilation, seizure control, controlled reoxygenation, maintaining saturation to 94 to 96, and supportive care.
No, explain them one by one.
सर आगे थोड़ा ब्रीफ में
है
मैंने
इसमें?
एक्सप्लेन किया है. Hypothermia
नहीं, आइडियली ना पीछे बल्कि आगे नहीं करने की, तू इसी में एक्सप्लेन कर. Is the reason I'm asking, because otherwise these slides they doesn't hold any meaning. In fact, this is the right way of preparing the slide. तूने आगे जो डिटेल डाला है उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. Slides means you have to write 5 से 6, हाँ, because उसका reason है. The moment you start reading the slides, ना बच्चे, people will get disconnected.
Right.
They will get lost in their own thoughts. Even I get disconnected, because presentation में सबसे important चीज क्या है कि you have to put a clues over the slide on which you are going to speak.
And then
Yes, there will be a blackouts, but then how will you get comfortable with blackouts? मुझे भी होते हैं, अभी भी होते हैं. But ऐसा नहीं है कि with experience there will not be any anxiety. We get comfortable with anxiety. That is the only thing which has got changed in me. I'm now comfortable with fear and anxiety. That is the only thing. But वो तो होता, feeling butterflies उतनी आती हैं, मुस्कान को तो अभी भी आती हैं बहुत. So point मेरा ये है कि you have to get comfortable with blackouts. If it is not coming up, just keep it. और यहाँ पे तो this is the best way to learn.
right.
Nobody is going to judge you. It's basically your home. So therapeutic hypothermia में क्या करोगे?
Targeted-
And इसको फिर करना है patients में. The reason I'm asking you, because you have given very beautiful points. Every patient who is a post cardiac arrest, you have to do all these 5-6 points.
Right.
बताओ. And what you will achieve by first therapeutic
First,
hypothermia.
therapeutic hypothermia, targeted temperature regulation to 32 to 36 degrees.
How much?
So 32 to 34.
हाँ, ठीक है. 32 to 36. So TTM, we call them as
TTM.
targeted temperature management. Therapeutic hypothermia, how does it work? Jagnoor, anybody?
It will not inflate the more inflammatory markers. It will settle them down.
How it's going to settle down? Have you have any injury, like, you know, चोट वोट तो लगा होगा बचपन में, अभी भी लगता रहता है, कहते हैं ना? Yeah, so they said that put an ice pack over it. I don't know who used to say कि पहले हम तो क्या करते थे कि अगर चोट लगता तो और वो गर्म से कहीं हो जाता है, उसके बाद वो इतना इन्फ्लेम हो जाता है ना? So idea is that कि in order to reduce inflammation, you give them cold. Now what you are talking about, what she's talking, what she's talking about, if you have injured area and if you make them cold, you will reduce inflammation. I don't know about this part, whether it happens like this, but I know something which happens, which has been scientifically proven to the brain. The brain is very excited because the moment you suffered from the ischemia and the reperfusion causes significant excitement to the every corner of the brain. Now the brain consumes a lot of oxygen. Do you know brain is the organ which consumes blood and oxygen among all the organs in the highest order?
Yes, sir.
As per the body weight,
Yes, sir.
right? If you see the body
Stellar
weight
hypoxia
which the brain contributes and the amount of blood which the brain consumes according to the body weight, it's highest, which means it is one of the highest active organ which you're having, right? Provided that you're using your brain. If you're not using brain, then there is a problem. So what happens when the brain is consuming a lot of work? This causes more injury. Supply and demand. Supply was less because the patient has gone through cardiac arrest, but the demand, the brain is more because the brain is now irritable. You will find epileptogenic foci. If you do the EEG in them,
EEG.
there's a lot of cortical spikes which is there with them, unless and until the patient is brain dead, right? So you have to reduce the brain work, and when you give them this cold temperature, you're able to suppress the EEG, which means the brain electrical activity, you're trying to reduce it. So when you reduce the demand from the brain and when you increase the supply by tubing and ventilating and oxygenating them, you try to maintain that homeostatic environment which you need for the brain not to have secondary injury. Primary injury to already ho gaya, but the secondary injury likely to happen when they are going to throw the seizure, when they are going to become hypoglycemic, when they will be febrile. When fever happens, cerebral metabolic rate of oxygen consumption, we call them as CMRO2. इसको जो मैं सिंप्लीफाई किया, जो मैंने समझाया था वो यही है, cerebral metabolic rate of oxygen consumption. The brain is consuming oxygen at certain rate, and it is approximately, I think, I don't remember if it's around 250 mils per minute or something. Something is like this. The point here is that any organ which you want to, which you want to give them rest and no secondary injury should happen, you should try to reduce that activity to that specific organ. And the only way to reduce the brain work is by making them either cold, which you give them TTM, or you give them some sedatives, hypnotics, and intentionally you achieve the burst EG suppression, especially the drugs like propofol, thiopentone, and all this. Anti-epileptics, yes. So all these things, yes. Temperature is, sorry? Antipyretics, yes. Antipyretics, yes. So you do all these good things. Antipyretic, if you're giving them TTM, antipyretic anyhow has been achieved. And this is most cost effective. The best part about it is you're not giving any medicine.
Right.
You're not changing any, a lot of antibiotics and all. So it's all the best things in this world. All the best things in this world, they are
Cost
free.
free.
You know this thing?
Yes, sir.
Love, care, respect, humility, prone ventilation, and TTM. They are free. Have you realized?
Yes, sir.
Low tidal volume, free. You don't have to do anything. So these are the good things. So remember this thing. All the best things in this world, which has been able to change the outcome of your patient, it has been always free. So that is why you have to give TTM.
Yes.
Secondly, you said early hemodynamic optimization. What do you mean by early hemodynamic optimization?
So
And how will you achieve them?
maintaining the saturation and the PaCO2 of the
Sorry?
vitals, hemodynamically maintaining the patients in
Keep
the
a map of 65-70 for them.
Yes, sir.
Idea is that
Vitals.
cerebral perfusion pressure is map dependent. The perfusion to the brain is dependent upon your mean arterial pressure. Mean arterial pressure, समझते बेटा? क्या होता है mean arterial pressure? वर्णिका? वो देख, he's already gone. Post duty है बेटा? Are you post duty? I'm asking. I know he's intern, but I'm asking. Are you post duty? चल प्रेजेंट करिए पोस्ट कार्डियक अरेस्ट. इधर आजा तू, इधर कहाँ पे बैठेगा? You come here, you sit here. Come, इधर आजा. He cannot resist. His brain, cerebral metabolic rate of oxygen consumption has gone down like anything. Come. प्रॉब्लम पता है क्या है? बैठ जा बेटा. मास्क नीचे कर ले. ब्रेन को थोड़ा सा एक्साइट करके रखना है. आदत नहीं है ना इतना पढ़ाई करने की, इसलिए बोरिंग हो रहा होगा, है ना? कनेक्ट ही नहीं कर पा रहा होगा इसको. आगे चल के यही हमें रिससिटेट करेगा. So give them a mean arterial pressure of 65. क्या होता है मैप बेटा? आपका क्या नाम है? मास नीचे. कीर्ति. कीर्ति ना. मैप क्या होता है? मीन आर्टरी प्रेशर क्या होता है बेटा? हैं? 90. आप लोग इंटर्न हो? वेरी गुड. माय गॉड, फ्यूचर इज ब्राइट फॉर ईच वन ऑफ अस. तुम बताओ बेटा, तुम्हारा क्या नाम है? शिवांशु. हाँ बोल. चक्रवर्ती, मिथुन चक्रवर्ती. हाँ जी बता, क्या होता है मैप? हाँ नहीं, हाँ क्लास है कुछ, अभी थोड़ी देर में कर लें. हाँ जी बताओ. मीन आर्टरी प्रेशर नहीं पता यार. हाउ कैन यू? पता नहीं डॉक्टर देते, ये तो बड़ा मुश्किल है. कौन सी बुक पढ़ी थी फिजियोलॉजी में? ये भी नहीं याद फिजियोलॉजी में कौन सी बुक पढ़ी थी? AK जैन. उसमें तो दे रखा है चैप्टर बीपी के ऊपर है. अरे कोई घर में पेशेंट कोई आता होगा रिलेटिव, क्या बीपी ले लो, तो क्या सिस्टोलिक डायस्टोलिक तीसरा मैप नहीं होता? बट ये तो पढ़ लेना बेटा मैप, है ना? आप लोगों को तो पता है ना मैप. मीन आर्टरी
more
प्रेशर,
than 60.
सिस्टोलिक माइनस डायस्टोलिक, ये मैप होता है. DPP डायस्टोलिक ब्लड प्रेशर प्लस 1/3 ऑफ पल्स प्रेशर.
1/3.
ठीक है. मीन आर्टरी प्रेशर टारगेट रखते हैं हम लोग, है ना? बट पता होना चाहिए मैप तो. हाँ वही है ना? सो और आपने बोला एयर प्रोटेक्शन एंड मैकेनिकल वेंटिलेशन. क्यों एयर प्रोटेक्शन फॉर एवरी पेशेंट? So the patient who are comatose, not for every
Comatose
case. A patient who after ROAC, कितने patient होते हैं CPR के बाद बिल्कुल उठ जाते हैं? You will see a lot of good patients. So they don't need AV protection, right? They don't even need therapeutic hypothermia. We are talking about the patients who had significant post cardiac arrest syndrome, significant injury to the organs, where the patient is comatose to the extent that the patient is going to have a risk of aspiration. Mechanical ventilation, because they are not going to take their own spontaneous breaths. Good. So you don't want hypercapnia to happen in them, which is going to affect your brain pressures. Hypercapnia, how does it affect brain pressure, Usha? Hypercapnia, does it affect your brain pressures? When I say brain pressures, it means cerebral edema. Does it happen? कुछ करता है? Hypercapnia क्या करता है brain में? हैं? Which pressures? ICP, yes. How does it increase? क्या होगा? CO2 causes cerebral vasodilatation. It will congest the brain. जिस brain को CO2 मिलता है ना, that brain is boggy, congested, heavy. जब इसमें CO2, you must see and witness the brain surgery. The moment the surgeon opened the skull, the brain is popping out. Just as if the brain was about to move out. And then they do something, and then they will ask you to hyperventilate. And when you hyperventilate in them, the brain will shrink like anything. And then they can close the cranium. We do it only for a transient time. So this is how the brain, and it responds immediately. This is one change which happens then and there itself. मतलब cerebral edema एकदम dramatically उसी time पर reduce होता है ना? आपका क्या नाम है? अरे नाम तो बता. लोकेंद्र. ठीक है. So what is next? जब तक you read it from that slide.
Seizure control.
क्यों?
So it is a brain activities increase होगा.
ठीक है. बताओ. नहीं अरे everybody is going to see you. चल ना. बता मेरा brain activity. नहीं इसको बस मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि so that your audio will be recorded.
On seizure activity, the brain activity will increase. That we will not supposed to happen because it increases the oxygen free radical will releases more, and that causes the
You were going on the right line. She said the right word.
Metabolic activity.
He was trying to say metabolism, right?
Brain metabolism.
brain metabolism will increase it. That we not supposed to overall we don't want to increase the brain activity. The brain work has to be suppressed for a time, so
Metabolism, increase oxygen demand.
that will cause it the more injury. That will cause it the further injuries to all the secondary injuries to all the other.
So the higher the cortical spikes, higher the consumption of oxygen is going to be. Seizure, whenever the seizure happens, it increases the oxygen requirement by at least 5 to 10 times. जितनी normal oxygen requirement है, उसका 5 to 10 times oxygen requirement increases. And the first organ which needs oxygen is brain. We are not worried about any other organ. We are worried about brain. ठीक है? हाँ जी, next.
Control reoxygenation.
Control?
Maintaining reoxygenation.
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 क्या है
So,
इसका
maintaining saturation so that हम
control reoxygenation. Now, this is very important. And nobody is practicing. Nobody is practicing in this ICU. Malab, I'm sorry to say.
Morning service.
And that is why I said yesterday I got very upset. I know more than what you people are doing on duty because I'm connected, hyper connected in this environment. Patient was receiving 70% FiO2 for no reason. गलत है ना? So इसका मतलब क्या है? Control reoxygenation. बताओ. और इसके बाद समझ में आया तो कम से कम प्रैक्टिस करना है इसको.
so
ये वर्ड बड़ा अच्छा है यार. मतलब it's very impressive. Control reoxygenation. Thank you for bringing it to me. I'm going to use it in my presentation. No, I never heard this. You heard it? हमने सुना है?
I just
It's in a
ये
journey.
चलो नहीं, हाँ उसमें हाइपोथर्मिया है, बट ये वर्ड कंट्रोल रीऑक्सीजनेशन इज नॉट देयर.
So because oxygen also releases free radicals, and if
Very
we
good.
give 100% of oxygen एकदम से, तो reperfusion बहुत
Very
जल्दी होगा, and that
So,
will.
so it इसका मतलब ये है, one you said controlled. Don't give unregulated high FiO2, which has no meaning at all. You're inviting secondary neuronal injury because of free radicals. I said na, primary brain injury, secondary and tertiary. Tertiary happens because of free radicals, which nobody can see because you cannot measure free radicals. The problem here is that what you cannot measure, it becomes difficult for you to understand it is happening. Like nobody can measure free radicals, but it is causing significant injury to the heart, sorry, to the lungs as well as to the brain. Secondly, you're talking about reoxygenation, which means permissive. We don't need targets of 9800. We need just target of, in fact, 94, 96 is bit on the higher side. Keep it around 90 to 94.
Okay, sir.
Brain doesn't need more than, for the brain, the stroke protocol says give oxygen only if SpO2 is less than 94. For the cardiac, they say the recent recommendation, which has come after the recent articles, is do not give oxygen unless and until the patient has SpO2 less than 90 for cardiac. So if you have any patient with ACS, generally people, they give them oxygen by default, right? So yes, so if your saturation sats are less than 90, then you have to give oxygen, otherwise don't give oxygen. It causes, in fact, you know why? क्या हो जाएगा ऑक्सीजन देने से ACS में? Coronary ischemia. Oxygen causes vasoconstriction, so it can invite more injury to the
Further
myocardium,
ischemia.
which nobody knows.
Right, sir.
But now we have understood. So nothing is free in this word. When you say na, it's a free oxygen, दे देते हैं, what will happen? अच्छा बेटा, it's not free. Thank you बेटा, लीजिए. बेटा इधर आके थोड़ा जल्दी जल्दी दे दो, इधर से आके. हाँ जी, ठीक है. एक मैडम के लिए भी तो रख दो, इनके लिए. एक बेटा उधर उधर. ठीक है. And supportive care, obviously you have to give supportive care. What will you do in supportive care? Anybody?
So, DVT prophylaxis.
Antipyretics, good.
Antibiotics,
अच्छी बोल रहा है, antipyretics. हाँ. So fever नहीं होना चाहिए इन पेशेंट्स पे. Fever हुआ तो brain injury हो जाएगा. और
DVT prophylaxis.
DVT prophylaxis, उसके अलावा anything which is more relevant.
Antibiotics.
Primary brain injury हो गया, secondary brain injury होने के chances हैं. तो और क्या करेंगे जिससे secondary brain injury? There should not be any further hypoxia. There should not be any hyperoxia. There should not be any hypocapnia. Hypocapnia also causes cerebral vasoconstriction. There should not be any hypercapnia because that causes paradoxically raised in ICP. Then there should not be any acidemia. There should not be any hypotension. There should not be any hypovolemia. There should not be any hypothermia, right? And there should not be any, what else? Hypo and hyperglycemia. H plus ions.
Yes.
Hypothermia is acceptable. So all this H, you have to understand they fall in your
H is in
supportive
these.
care. ठीक है? T
H
तो
is in
ट्रैम्पोनाट वो
these.
सब भी आ जाएगा उसमें, वो नहीं आएगा, बट H वाले आ जाएंगे. हाँ.
Post cardiac arrest, myocardial dysfunction, pathophysiology, global hypokinesia, myocardial stunning, reduced cardiac output, and acute coronary syndrome.
वो उस पेशेंट में है. That's why yesterday I was asking, it is ACS which has led to cardiac arrest or it is post cardiac arrest which has led to ACS? Remember that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
है ना? हाँ. ACS उसमें लग नहीं रहा, उसमें मुझे लग रहा है कि उसमें उसको cardiac arrest के बाद ACS witness है. And he was having a dysrhythmias. We had to give
Hypotension.
for AF, we have to give amiodarone.
Which
Cardiovascular collapse, obviously he came as cardiovascular collapse. ठीक है.
which will clinically manifest as hypotension, dysrhythmia, and cardiovascular collapse.
ठीक है.
Potential treatment: early revascularization of acute myocardial ischemia, early hemodynamic optimization, intravenous fluids, inotropes, intra-aortic balloon pump, left ventricle assisted devices, and ECMO.
How many of you have heard this last three things?
Ec-
सुना है ECMO?
balloon. Intra-aortic
हैं? I used to place IBP myself, है ना? हम लोग शुरू करेंगे अभी IBP because here people are not in affordable category, so we cannot give. But LVADs, they are very costly. So basically, if your left ventricle is not working, you give them mechanical device, which are known as mechanical circulatory device. They are going to improve the LV output, right? So they are placed in the LV and they help you in the ejection of stroke volume. Because at certain stage, see, सिंपल सी बात है, एक सोच के देखो, एक पेशेंट है जिसको मायोकार्डियल इंजरी हुई है, राइट? अभी हम क्या करें, ब्रेन के लिए करें, ब्रेन को रेस्ट दें. That's why you're giving them ice cold saline, make them comatose, give them benzodiazepine or thiopentone as per the patient's clinical feasibility. But idea क्या होता है? Any organ which has got insulted should be rested. But heart is one organ you can never give them rest, because if heart is rested, every organ will also rest, right? So the problem is that when you have a hypotension because of myocardial injury, paradoxically, you in fact start infusing inotropes in them. So rather than making the heart to do less work, you're giving the heart to do more work. Now this is the only organ which goes oppositely, right? Now this is not desirable. So we know that inotropes, they are going to harm them. In fact, if you work like where I was working in Middle East, which is a cardiac transplant center, we never used to give them inotropes. The moment we feel the patient is going to get further injured from inotropes, we used to switch over the IABP, LVADs and ECMO. And they are the three strategies, IABP, LVADs and ECMO, which spares the myocardium to do work. The device is going to work for the heart. You understand? It's like a heart and lung bypass machine. So the heart will rest. जो बीमार होता है उसको काम ज़्यादा देना चाहिए या कम ज़्यादा देना है, काम देना चाहिए ना. अब हार्ट यहाँ पे बीमार है, इंजर्ड है, उसको आपने काम दे दिया, ऊपर से वेजो प्रेशर दे के मैं तुम बीमार हुआ, मैं तुम्हारा संटी पे मारूँ. संटी क्या होता है? वो स्टिक है ना. So you will get more harm ना. So this is what we are. So we are whipping the injured horse for no reason. Already heart injured है, so it's not required. So give them more of IBP. थोड़ा पढ़ना, because these are exciting strategies which are there for the patients who are having a weak circulation. ठीक है? Impella, yes. ठीक है?
Next, we'll come to systemic ischemic reperfusion, pathophysiology, SIRS, systemic inflammatory response syndrome, impaired vasoregulation, increased coagulation, adrenal suppression, impaired tissue oxygen delivery and utilization, impaired resistance to infection.
इसका मीनिंग क्या है इन पॉइंट्स का?
So, due to the mismatch of the oxygen mismatch of the oxygen supply and oxygen utility, there is a certain response which happen from the tissue. First is the inflammation.
SIRS will happen because it's an injury.
Injury की वजह से.
Ischemia,
Right.
ischemic mediators, they are going to flush and they will invite SIRS. How will it lead to impaired vasoregulation? So when this inflammatory mediators, yes, cytokines, cytokines, interleukins, nitric oxide, they get released into the body, especially in endothelium,
Yes, sir.
and they causes extraordinary vasodilatation. And this entity is known as vasomotor paralysis. इसको बोलते हैं vasoplasia.
Vasoplasia.
Vaso means vascular tone, plagia means paralysis. So your vessels get paralyzed. Normally, if you have epinephrine surge in the body, they are going to contract the vessels. In this situation, too much of release has got happened. Eventually, it causes exhaustion of your adrenal reserves. That is why they develop a state of adrenal insufficiency, right? So impaired vasoregulation, adrenal suppression, and impaired tissue oxygen delivery and utilization. So tissue delivery is going to impair because the circulation is poor in there. Myocardial stunning is there. They are requiring inotropes, and still the BP is hovering maybe somewhere just barely minimum. If your perfusion is not good, see, the heart has to give you the perfusion. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. Yes, yes. Right? So if the heart is weak and you're giving them, whipping the heart with the help of inotropes, maybe it is going to push for some time, but eventually this may not be an adequate flow for the body to get perfused and to get oxygenate. Now, why impaired utilization? Because the ischemic metabolites which are there, they causes one entity which is known as, there are 4 types of hypoxia: hypoxic hypoxia, anemic hypoxia, ischemic hypoxia. So ischemic hypoxia, and the last, cytotoxic. It happens like in this way, cytotoxic. So there are 2, in fact, anemic hypoxia, hypoxic hypoxia because cardiac arrest, histotoxic or cytopathic hypoxia is also one of them. So they cannot utilize. The God has been kind with you every time the slides are getting off. है ना? Beta, you can call him. है ना? And the last thing, what you said?
And
Impaired resistance. How does impaired, why they have predisposition to infection? You said, na,
because
impaired.
oxygenation is decreased. so
Obviously, you are
inviting
going through
for
cardiac arrest. No, sir, sir, but why there will be a predisposition to infection?
So because maybe the antibiotics that we are doing is not influenced.
एंटीबायोटिक्स तो देना ही नहीं है, अभी तक एंटीबायोटिक की तो बात ही नहीं करी ना हमने।
organisms, secondary infections के
Low perfusion है.
low perfusion है, secondary
राहुल,
infection के
whenever the light, जब भी लाइट जाएगा आप अपने आप आ जाओ, है ना? एक बंदा मैंने बुलाने के लिए चाहिए।
ये कैसे हटेगा वैसे?
क्या लगता है अभी क्यों हो सकता है?
Sir, regulation systemic नहीं है, rhythmic नहीं है.
So because inflammatory
You're right.
that is there, basically the protective mechanisms are dependent on those things. I think they are already I'm not sure, sir. But I think
Nobody's sure. हमें नहीं पता कितनी श्योरिटी क्यों होता है।
what
हमें सुबह किसी का ही नहीं पता होता आज मुझे कौन आना है कौन नहीं।
the immunomodulatory cells are already exhausted, like with the inflammatory
yes.
response.
So there is entity which is known as apoplexy, apoptosis. And apoptosis, whenever the body has to go through ischemia, apoptosis happens to your T cells, B cells, everything get affected. Why they should be spared when everything is dying?
Right.
So they will also not be spared. It's like a war situation for the body. So they goes into the apoptosis, and eventually the body innate response to the infection also get compromised. ठीक है? That doesn't mean all the patient needs antibiotics. It just means that whenever the patient, they have a tendency to develop infection, they should not receive prophylaxis, but they have an increased predisposition for infection, so you should be cautious. And the moment they develop sepsis, you should be very aggressively treating sepsis in them. ठीक है? हाँ, वो सब फॉलो करना है। इस मैसेज ये नहीं जाना चाहिए कि एंटीबायोटिक चलाना है ना? ठीक है। इंक्रीज कोगुलेशन क्यों? सो यहाँ तुम डीवीटी जो आप पहले करते थे ना, डीवीटी प्रोफिलैक्सिस इसलिए जरूरी है। इन्फ्लेमेशन, व्हाट इज वर्चुअस स्ट्राइड? वर्चुअस स्ट्राइड क्या होता है बेटा? अरे वर्चुअस कौन सा वाला तू कह रहा है? ये मैं उसका बता रहा हूँ, जो वीनस थ्रोम्बोसिस के लिए होता है। तूने क्या बताया? इंटरमिटेंट पेन, इंटरमिटेंट फीवर एंड रेमिटेंट जॉन्डिस। वो वर्चुअस स्ट्राइड थोड़ी ना है। कौन सा ट्राइड है?
वो तो से
हाँ हाँ हाँ, नहीं ये कौन सा ट्राइड है? सेंट्स नहीं है।
लिवर का
दिस इज बेसिकली फॉर ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिव जॉन्डिस, ये उसके लिए होता है। नो नो, दिस इज नॉट वर्चुअस। ही इज सेइंग इंटरमिटेंट पेन, इंटरमिटेंट फीवर एंड रेमिटेंट जॉन्डिस। इट इज फॉर कोलिंजाइटिस। ठीक है, वो कोलिंजाइटिस के लिए होता है, बट दिस इज नॉट वर्चुअस स्ट्राइड, दैट इज चारकोट स्ट्राइड। एंड रीड अबाउट इट। what Muskan is talking about, you have stasis, circulation अगर poor होगा तो stasis होगा, endothelium is injured, है ना, endothelial injury, and third क्या होता है उसमें? Hypercoagulability. So हाँ, so hypercoagulability per se is not the reason why they become predisposed for the thrombotic issues. It's mainly because of stasis and endothelium injury, and injury happens because of SIRS. इंटेंस इन्फ्लेमेशन है ना,
राइट।
जैसे सुनामी आएगा तो चारों तरफ डैमेज होगा ना। इट्स लाइक अ सुनामी व्हिच इज हैपनिंग इन द बॉडी। पता है सुनामी क्या था? इससे पूछ रहा हूँ, सुनामी सुना था? कुछ हुआ? सुनामी आया था कभी? अरे हिस्ट्री में तो पढ़ा होगा, मैं तो देखा था सुनामी। आई वाज ट्रैवलिंग टू केरला, वो पूरा एरिया इट वाज गॉट डैमेज। हाँ, इट वाज लाइक एनीथिंग। सुनामी नहीं देखा इन्होंने यार? क्या है बच्चे, इंटरेस्ट क्या है? हाँ जी, Clinical
will
manifestation में क्या क्या है?
clinically manifest as ongoing tissue hypoxia, ischemia, hypotension, cardiovascular collapse, pyrexia, hyperglycemia, multi-organ failure, and infection.
ये तो हमने पढ़ लिया है ना? ठीक है, ये तो सारा वही है, उसी का पार्ट है। आगे चलें।
Potential treatments: early hemodynamic optimization, intravenous fluid, vasosuppressors, high volume hemofiltration, temperature control, glucose control, antibiotic for documented infection.
देख इसमें वर्ड है डॉक्यूमेंटेड इन्फेक्शन।
Yes,
That's it's
documented
important.
infection.
Prophylaxis नहीं है, मैं बार बार ही कह रहा हूँ, इसका documented infection. Temperature control because brain is going to get nurtured. Glucose because both hypo
Both.
and hyperglycemia is going to kill.
Okay.
High volume hemofiltration कैसे help करेगा? Potential treatments हैं. These are not the actual treatment. हाँ बोल, सही बोल रही है.
So all the extra cytokines, interleukins, वो सब filter हो जाएंगे.
Good. So these filters, they are going to filter
Inflammatory
the
markers.
cytokines which are causing damage.
Damage.
Basically एक तरीके से it's like a sieve, छन्नी जो होती है ना,
हाँ जी.
तो ये छान देगा ब्लड को ना, and all inflammatory mediators they will be in the your solute जो होगा solvent fluid जो होता है,
जी.
and the body will be free from them. So we have filters with the name which actually works on this principle. I have been fortunate to use them. It's known as Cytosol. ठीक है, Cytosol. It cost you around 80. हाँ जी. Yes, all patients who have been having a cytokines inflammatory mediators. So Cytosol 70-80,000 one filter is there, and it used to be plot onto the dialysis machine. The same, it's like the dialysis machine has a filter. You just have to apply Cytosol filter. But this is not going to be a dialysis. This is going to be yes, cytokine hemo, है ना? Vasopressors if there is a hypotension and the patient has SVR, vasoplating. Intravenous fluid if there is a volume deficit.
Volume deficit.
Early hemodynamic optimization वो तो obviously ठीक है. हाँ जी.
Persistent precipitating pathology, pathophysiology, cardiovascular diseases like acute myocardial ischemia, cardiomyopathy, pulmonary diseases like COPD, asthma, CNS, cerebrovascular accidents, thromboembolic diseases like pulmonary edema, toxicology, overdose and poisoning, infection, sepsis and pneumonia, hypovolemia, hemorrhages and dehydration.
So what does it mean? I want you to help us in understanding. Persistent precipitating pathology. Break this sentence into 3 things. And you will understand. इसका ये बहुत important चीज़ है actually slide. पहले मुझे नहीं समझ में आया था when you said in the first slide. And thank you for bringing again to my memory. I'm going to use this word. So persistent precipitating pathology. It means क्या है बता?
Underlying pathology which are
अगर underlying cause कोई present है तो we have to treat.
Yes.
simultaneously
Point,
उसका
very good. So point here is that there must be some reason for which the patient has gone into cardiac arrest.
right.
Now cardiac arrest, your patient is able to come back. But that doesn't mean your patient has got treated from the primary precipitating factor. So this precipitating pathology, whatever has triggered the patient to land up into cardiac arrest, may still be persisting. And that can lead to a reason for the patient to again go into cardiac arrest. And common of them is your acute coronary syndrome. Many patients with COPD asthma, if they're having a lot of VMIQ mismatch shunting, they will be hypercapnic. High AV pressures, barotrauma happens with them. CVA, if it is massive CVA, and a massive bleed. So even though there is an ROSC, but these patients, if you have this pathology which will persist in them, most likely this ROSC will again go to the cardiac arrest. है ना?
Yes.
Infection, sepsis है, sepsis से treat नहीं होगा तो फिर क्या करोगे उसमें? ठीक है? Good.
Now we'll come to the management of ACS. Persistent resuscitated patients resuscitated from cardiac arrest who have ST elevation myocardial infarction should undergo immediate coronary angiography with subsequent PCI if indicated. It is appropriate to consider immediate coronary angiography in all post-cardiac arrest patients in whom ACS is suspected.
So if you're having a suspicion of ACS, you should plan coronary angio as early as possible, because unless and until you treat the cause, it will again keep on happening.
Then therapeutic hypothermia, as we discussed, unconscious adult patients with ROSC after out of hospital cardiac arrest should be cooled to 32 to 34 degrees Celsius for at least 12 to 24 hours. rapid IV infusion of ice cold.
कितनी देर के लिए करोगे? हाइपोथर्मिया देना है तो हमने हाइपोथर्मिया अगली बारी जब कार्डियक अरेस्ट का पेशेंट आया, मान लो आप नाइट ड्यूटी पे हो, आप 5 बजे आते हो ना, 4 बजे आओ पहले तो, है ना, 1 घंटा ओवरलैप करो, है ना। नहीं गुड जगनूर, तुझे आना चाहिए, सीरियस बता रहा हूँ। 1 घंटे से कुछ नहीं होगा, बट कम बिफोर सो दैट यू कैन स्पेंड टाइम विद अस रेदर देन कि तू हमें नीचे दिखे। उसमें हम क्या कन्वे कर पाएंगे, है ना। यू शुड यूटिलाइज दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी। इफ आई हैव टू मीट माई मेंटोर, मैं तो कहीं कितनी दूर हम फ्लाई करते रहते हैं, और आप यहाँ पर भी नहीं आओगे तो कैसे होगा। पहली बात तो ये 5 बजे अगर आपने करना है तो कितनी देर के लिए करोगे? शाम को है 5 बजे आपने आए एंड यू सॉ द पेशेंट, यू रिसीव द पेशेंट हु इज अ पोस्ट कार्डियक अरेस्ट, सो ड्राफ्ट योर ऑर्डर्स। पोस्ट कार्डियक अरेस्ट का है, ड्राफ्ट करो ऑर्डर्स हाइपोथर्मिया के लिए। और कैसे करोगे? यू अंडरस्टूड माय क्वेश्चन? हाइपोथर्मिया देना है, कैसे करोगे? स्लाइड पढ़ ली? अब नर्स को समझ में आना चाहिए, साथ वाले डॉक्टर को समझ में आना चाहिए। हाँ जी,
सर कोल्ड रिंगर लैक्टेट इन्फ्यूजन स्टार्ट करेंगे।
ऐसे समझा कि जो मुझे दे सकूं, है ना, क्योंकि इनके लिए बहुत ऊपर हो जाएगा, है ना, और नर्स भी कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाएगी। रिलेटेबिलिटी होना चाहिए सब्जेक्ट में ना, तो कैसे देगी और कैसे टेम्परेचर मॉनिटर करेगी, कहाँ पे कैसे हम करें अपने सेटअप में।
So we can start cold ringer lactate solution at 80 to 100 maintenance पे
80 to 100
ml per hour.
कोल्ड मीन्स
So 32 to 34 degree.
में नहीं है। कोल्ड
मतलब?
रिंगर लैक्टेट कितना टेम्परेचर? कोल्ड तो मतलब कोल्ड टू व्हाट? कोल्ड का मतलब क्या है?
So not outside body temperature से थोड़ा मतलब।
तो वो हो जाएगा कोल्ड उतने में? तुम वर्ड पढ़ो, उसमें क्या लिखा है? आइस कोल्ड का आइस कितने बनती है? यस,
फ्रीजर फ्रीज कर
0 to 4, 0 पे तो फ्रीज हो जाएगा, तो वो तो ट्रांसफ्रीज ही नहीं होगा। सो 4 डिग्री सेल्सियस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू गिव। नाउ दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज अदरवाइज यू विल नेवर अचीव योर टेम्परेचर टारगेट्स। कोल्ड का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपने बस यहाँ से थोड़ा सा बर्फ, यू नो, ठंडा, ऐसे नहीं है। दिस इज टेक्निकली डिफिकल्ट टू अचीव। So what we used to have in your OT, you might be having, we have fluid warmers and fluid coolers. तो warmers तो होते हैं, coolers होते हैं, which comes as intravascular circuits are available, जिसमें you can achieve the cooling.
Right.
Now, if you're not having them, no problem, because they are costly and they need obviously a lot of investment. So what we do, we put ice packs, 2 in the chest, 2 over the chest, 2 over the abdomen, 2 over the groin and 2 in the axilla. These are core areas because you want to achieve core cooling. Peripheral cooling थोड़ी ना होना है, यहाँ नीचे आइस पैक रखोगे तो फ्रीज कर जाएगा पैर। Achieve the cooling of the core. ठीक है? Simultaneously we give them ice cold saline if we have, but making sure that somebody is monitoring your core body temperature. तो core body temperature कैसे measure करेंगे? Which temperature? Thermometer. हम यहाँ पे कौन सा थर्मोमीटर यूज करते हैं बेटा? हम यहाँ पे क्या कौन सा थर्मामीटर यूज कर रहे हैं?
Esophageal and
नहीं, वो बताओ ना जो कर रहे हैं। हम तो हाइपोथर्मिया कितने पेशेंट को देते हैं?
अच्छा
हम
एक्सिलरी
लोग
करते हैं
सरफेस
यहाँ पे,
मेथड
but-
से यूज करते हैं
हाँ
यहाँ
जी।
पर, जो एक्सिला में लगा देते हैं, है ना। यू डोंट हैव टू डू दिस, यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू मेजर। ये जो है ना, ये कोर बॉडी टेम्परेचर की बात हो रही है, 30 to 34। सो यू हैव टू मेजर द कोर बॉडी टेम्परेचर। सो जब भी वही एग्जैक्टली यू आस्क अनिल हाउ वी आर डूइंग इट। सो वी ब्रिंग द nasopharyngeal temperature probe and it is there in ICU. Like a Rayleigh tube, you measure it from the tip of the nose to the angle of mandible, right? Or maybe up to the sternal notch, and then you put it. So it basically it has to be nasopharynx. So what we measure is nasopharyngeal temperature, right? You can also measure lower esophageal temperature, but we don't have those probes. Secondly, it may interfere with your RT feed and everything, right? फीड दोगे तो फिर फीड का टेम्परेचर आसपास कुछ रिकॉर्ड होना शुरू हो जाएगा, पता नहीं चलेगा ना। सो बेस्ट इज टू मेजर द nasopharyngeal और ब्लैडर, है ना, और मे बी द rectal we don't do it because infection and all issues. Bladder we don't have those kind of probes because Foley's होता है फिर अलग से bladder, but nasopharynx is easily accessible, so we do it like this. ठीक है। एंड कितनी देर के लिए करोगे? आपने बोला सुबह 5 बजे तक, 24 घंटे बोला ना, 12 घंटे। आपका क्या मानना है जगनूर, और किसी का क्या मानना है?
12 to 24 hours.
हाँ जी।
12 to 24 hours.
एक जब भी हम कभी किसी बुक को पढ़ते हैं ना, कभी ये दिस इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू द सब्जेक्ट, बट आई एम टेलिंग यू, read it with lot of respect and interest. पता क्या होता है, हम पढ़ते कैसे हैं, हमने कोई चैप्टर पढ़ा तो हम उसमें ना की पॉइंट्स ढूंढ रहे हैं. अब जैसे इसको पहली लाइन को पढ़ा इसने, तो इसने कैसे पढ़ा होगा, शुड बी कूल 30 to 34, 12 से 24, बस. दिस इज द रॉन्ग वे ऑफ स्टडिंग द सब्जेक्ट. इसको पढ़ने का तरीका क्या है, 32 to 34 फॉर एटलीस्ट. इसमें की पॉइंट एटलीस्ट है. होता क्या है, हमारे आईज कैच करती हैं डिजिटल फिगर्स, बिकॉज वी डोंट रीड, वी स्कैन एक्चुअली द लिटरेचर. हमें आदत नहीं है ना पढ़ने की इतने डीप में, तो हमें आदत पड़ी हुई है स्कैनिंग की. हमने पढ़ा 12 से 24, बस ये काम की बात होगी, इतना है, 25, 0.25, 0.5. नहीं डॉक्टर दत्ता, आइडिया क्या होना चाहिए कि आपको इसमें की पॉइंट देखना है कि एटलीस्ट 12 से 24 घंटे मिनिमम. सो योर इंस्ट्रक्शन शुड बी कि 12 घंटे हम करेंगे, एंड देन वी आर गोइंग टू आस्क एंड डिस्कस विद द कंसर्न टीम, जो भी है आईसीयू टीम, बट वी विल गिव एटलीस्ट फॉर 24 आवर्स, है ना. योर AHA रिकमेंड्स फॉर 24 to 48 आवर्स. ठीक है, मैं इसलिए बता रहा हूँ क्योंकि ये चीज़ आपको पता होनी चाहिए. कोई ये 12 से 24 आप छूते ही कहोगे 12, वाई यू हैव टू गिव अ मिनिमम डोज, वाई नॉट द मैक्सिमम डोज. मिनिमम है ना, ये तो मिनिमम डोज है.
मिनिमम है.
किसी चीज़ को अगर ट्रीट करना है, स्पेशली जो सिक पेशेंट्स होते हैं, उसमें मिनिमम डोज का कहाँ कॉन्सेप्ट है, यू गिव देम अ मैक्सिमम डोज. पेशेंट हाइपोटेंशन में आता है, हम मिनिमम डोज ऑफ फ्लू थोड़ी ना देते हैं, हम तो 30 ml पर kg देते हैं. जब रिससिटेशन होता है तो हम मिनिमम डोज ऑफ ऑक्सीजन थोड़ी देते हैं, हम तो मैक्सिमम डोज ऑफ ऑक्सीजन देते हैं उस टाइम पर, राइट. सो आइडिया इज टू गिव देम मिनिमम डोज फॉर 24 आवर्स एंड विच कैन एक्सटेंड अप टू 48 आवर्स. ठीक है. एंड इसमें जो आपने जहाँ से पढ़ा है उसमें लिखा है 32 से लेके 34, बट इफ यू रीड AHA एंडोर्समेंट इट इज 32 to 36. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
AHA endorsements is 32 to 36.
I was confused.
What can happen at this temperature which is going to be a problem? हम इतना कूल कर रहे हैं पेशेंट को, कर रहे हैं ना कूल, क्या हो सकता है, ये कह तो रहे हो तुम. हाँ जी बोल, वेरी गुड. वेजो कंस्ट्रक्शन. सो इससे क्या होगा वेजो कंस्ट्रक्शन से, ये जो कर रहे हो ना, ये तो अच्छी बात है. नहीं, पेरिफेरल परफ्यूजन की तो हम अभी ज़्यादा कंसर्न ही नहीं है. वी आर मोर कंसर्न अबाउट वाइटल ऑर्गन परफ्यूजन. सैचुरेशन क्यों डिक्रीज हो जाएगा, कोर सैचुरेशन तो ABG से ठीक आएगा. सैचुरेशन मे नॉट बी एबल टू मेजर इन द पेरिफेरी, बट कोर बॉडी टेम्परेचर, कोर सैचुरेशन तो ठीक रहेगा ना. मैं तो कोर सैचुरेशन की बात हो रही है.
कंस्ट्रक्शन की वजह से BP चेंजेस आते हैं.
इतना होता है सिस्टम के. वाइट परफ्यूजन कम क्यों होगा, अगर इतना हार्म हो रहा है तो क्यों कर रहे हो. अरे एक सिंपल सी बात है, अगर इतना हार्म हो रहा है, आप कह रहे हो ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा, तो क्यों कोल्ड कर रहे हो, और आप दे रहे हो, कह रहे हो TTM देना है. आर यू वांट टू हेल्प योर पेशेंट और यू वांट टू हार्म योर पेशेंट, यू वांट टू हेल्प ना. सो बाय एंड लार्ज ये बात तो क्लियर है, इससे बेनिफिट्स ही है, हार्म तो कम ही होगा. बट ऐसा क्या हार्म हो सकता है विच वी हैव अ कंसर्न. Yes, one is coagulopathy. Hypothermia inhibits platelet aggregation. So if your patient has a bleeding tendency, you should not do in them.
Okay.
That is one. वो आपने नहीं बताया होगा, इसमें patient may start bleeding, and this is pure temperature related coagulopathy. ठीक है. Second, which is important, जब हम hypothermia देते हैं, have you आप लोगों में से कितने लोग AC यूज कर रहे हैं, सब कर रहे हो. ये तो इनफेक्टिव है, बट जो इफेक्टिव वाले हैं घर में यूज करिए आप. यहाँ हाँ, रात को ब्लैंकेट यू हैव टू यूज,
Yes.
यू डोंट यूज ब्लैंकेट. AC चिल 16 पे चल रहा है. AC है.
Hostel AC.
No, if your
Yes, sir.
hypothermia is effective,
Yes.
it's likely to make you shiver. शिवर करेगी ना.
Right.
मैं जैसे 24 पे लगा के सोता हूँ तो मुझे रात को चाहिए होता है ब्लैंकेट, और आई हैव टू स्टॉप AC 24 पे. आप 32 to 34 लेके जा रहे हो कोर बॉडी टेम्परेचर 38, 37, 38 से. It's an intense, significant hypothermia for the body to sense it. What will happen? Patient will have, yes, and this shivering will be very painful, very
That we
painful.
can live
मैं रात को तुम शिवर कर रहे हो और तुम्हें कोई ब्लैंकेट ना दे, क्या होगा? You will shiver like it's a painful experience. Cramps होने शुरू हो जाएंगे. Muscles, they goes into rigors, spasms. Yes. So, what you have to do? You have to sedate the patients. You have to keep the
Sedation.
patients on analgesics. And don't just paralyze them. First, you have to heavily sedate them. You have to heavily give them a good doses of analgesics because it's going to be a pain experience for them. Too much, अगर ये continuous चलता रहेगा तो pain शुरू हो जाएगा ना एक stage के बाद. So this intense shivering which happens as an attempt to achieve thermogenesis, you're trying to ameliorate. यू आर ट्राइंग टू ब्लंट दिस रिस्पॉन्स ना. क्यों होता है शिवरिंग हमें? बिकॉज हाँ, शिवरिंग इसलिए होता है हमें क्योंकि द बॉडी बाय द मसल कॉन्ट्रैक्शन दे आर ट्राइंग टू जनरेट हीट. दिस इज नोन एज थर्मोजेनेसिस, है ना. ये जो होता है इसमें जो हीट जनरेट हो रहा है, दिस इज द वे वी ट्राई टू मेंटेन द टेम्परेचर. और ये इतना डिफिकल्ट एक्सपीरियंस होता है जो परसिस्टेंट करेगा, विच इज गोइंग टू बी एक्सट्रीम पेन एंड डिस्कम्फर्ट फॉर योर पेशेंट. डन? क्या ठीक है?
Slow rewarming to 0 to 25
ये
degrees
डिफिकल्ट होता है हमारे सेटअप में ना. रिवॉर्मिंग इज डिफिकल्ट.
If therapeutic hypothermia is not undertaken, pyrexia during the first 72 hours after the cardiac arrest should be targeted aggressively with antipyretics or active cooling.
सो मुश्किल होता है कंट्रोल वे में करना ना. मतलब आई फेल टू अचीव इट, बट यू शुड नो कि yes, there is a reason why, because you have induced cooling in them. Similarly, when you are coming off from the cooling, it should be slow and gradual. But yeah, we are doing it. No, we are doing it. We are doing it because you're coming for the first time, so that's why you have not witnessed. In fact, you can discuss with nurses, they know. यहाँ ना पता क्या है, आप लोग क्योंकि बहुत स्पर्ट्स में आते हो ना, आप रेगुलर तो हो, मतलब वैसे नहीं हो ना. यहाँ सारी चीज़ें नर्स ड्रिवन है. हमने नर्सेज को इतना ट्रेन कर दिया है कि एक हमारा एक सेपरेट ग्रुप है जो नर्सेज के साथ है, तो सारे टीम लीडर उसमें कनेक्टेड होते हैं. आपको तो बाद में पता चलेगा वेंटिलेटर की सेटिंग्स हैं वो पहले हो चुकी होती हैं, क्योंकि दे नो कि दे हैव टू डिस्कस विद मी. सो आइडिया ये होता है कि वी डू इट, सो वी आर डूइंग इट.
Right.
या तो आप लोग इतना लीड करो उसमें आके कि ठीक है इंटरेस्ट लो, है ना. उतना एंथुजियाज्म और उतना हर किसी के लिए फिजिबल नहीं है. ठीक है.
Therapeutic strategies.
देख लिखा है sedation and neuromuscular blockade,
Sir, आगे
है
भी
ना?
डिस्कस किया.
so that you have to do it later on. ठीक है.
Early hemodynamic optimization, ventilation, circulatory support, management of ACS, therapeutic hypothermia, sedation and neuromuscular blockade, seizure control and prevention, glucose control, placement of implant of
Implantable cardioverter defibrillator. ठीक है.
defibrillator.
General monitoring, I think you have already spoken on this. ठीक
We
है.
have
आगे
discussed.
goal directed.
Early.
This we have already spoken. Map इतना रखना है 65.
Yes, sir.
है ना. We
Lactate
don't measure
less than-
supravena cava oxygen saturation. CVP you should keep target. कल भी मैं बोल रहा था 8 to 12 के बीच में रखो. We are not using CVP too often nowadays, but if you have CVP catheter, it's a good idea to monitor it continuously.
Right. So urine output.
HV you keep it more than 7, 8. Lactate is a marker of your perfusion. You keep it less than 2. It's a reflection of organ perfusion. Urine output, obviously if you have a 60 kg, 30 ml at least should be there. Oxygen delivery index we don't calculate. ठीक है.
Right.
आगे चलें. बस खत्म करते हैं.
Sedation and
देख
neuromuscular
लिखा है ना.
blockade. Yes, sir. Critically.
लिखा है इसमें लाइन पोस्ट will require sedation for mechanical and therapeutic hypothermia. देख इसमें लिखा भी है. ओहो वाओ.
Prevention of shivering during the injection of therapy.
मैं तो पढ़ा भी नहीं आर्टिकल. प्रिवेंशन ऑफ shivering during injection. ठीक है. मेंटेन एंड रिफॉर्मिंग. ठीक है. चल.
ठीक है. Seizure control and
हाँ,
prevention.
वो तो बता
वो
दिया.
हमने discuss किया.
I think
Clonazepam
Dr.
is the
Abhinandan ने,
drug
हाँ,
of choice.
yes. Seizure control, glucose
Then
control.
glucose control to 80 to 110 mg per deciliter. Respiratory control,
Avoid hypoxia, maintaining
Right.
POC2. देखो उसमें वो लिखा ना hypercapnia होना चाहिए ना hypocapnia होना चाहिए. दोनों आप ध्यान रखना, है ना.
Yes, sir. Clinical examination finding that predicts the outcome. Absence of pupillary reflex to light at 72 hours or with or without target
So
temperature
pupils
management.
you should not assess then. People you should assess after 72 hours.
And-
And you can assess, but your outcome decision should be on the basis of 3 days. Because for first 48 hours तो हम minimum दे ही रहे हैं. 24 hours तो दे ही रहे हैं ना. उस टाइम पर हम assess नहीं करेंगे. Assessment होगा 48 hours के बाद. वो ये कह रहा है. अगर pupillary reflex persist करता है, absent, मतलब if it is a persistently absent pupillary reflex at 3 days, then you call them as poor neurological outcome. Or if the patient has any signs suggestive of like myoclonus, status myoclonus, ठीक है तब ठीक है.
Should be used.
आगे
Comatose
comatose,
patient.
intractable status. हाँ, if your patient is having a status, that also is a problem. ठीक है.
Poor outcome. Comatose therapeutically managed temperature managed patients mark reduction of
नहीं, this is not required. Let's go ahead because this is too.
So this is the last.
We are not using them. ठीक है.
this is the
So
last
extensive
slide.
restriction of diffusion. So MRI scan if you do in them, Idea is that you will find some
Gray
areas
white
which are
matter.
having a, you can actually detect there is a flow defect which happens with them, which is basically happens a stage prior to the brain death. So if you trace a flow in them in middle cerebral artery, ACA and PCA, you'll find especially in MCA, because MCA is the one which innervates, which has the highest. So you will find the flow pattern changes. पहले जो flow pattern होता है, which is reverberant, it changes to the phasic and then eventually it becomes opposite. Reverberant flow होता है ऐसे आता है peaks में, ठीक है, फिर वो मोनोफेजिक हो जाता है, फिर वो रिवर्स हो जाता है. तो रिवर्सल ऑफ द फ्लो विच हैपन इन एमसीए, इट्स इंडिकेटेड. सो यू डू इट विद द हेल्प ऑफ डॉपलर्स. हाँ, ट्रांसक्रेनियल डॉपलर्स, टीसीएम, ट्रांसक्रेनियल डॉपलर, टीसीडी. ठीक है, ठीक है.
Yes.
We have taken 10 minutes extra, but I think we have justified. So very good presentation, Jagnoor.
Thank you.
Good efforts, but then you have to encourage your colleagues to be there. है ना? It's all depend upon you, Usha and Hadia. आप लोग अगर involve करोगे, ये you learn better when you are learning as a team rather than monomaniac. but ठीक है, एक ही बंदा पढ़ता रहे वो भी अच्छा नहीं है ना. ये सारे लोग, इनके बच्चे आने चाहिए. And you're doing some activity, this kind of classes will never ever be done. I'm telling you, पूरा 3 साल हो जाएगा. बहुत सारे लोग, अभिनंदन के तो इतने सीनियर हैं, ये हुआ है इसका क्लास वहाँ पर. जस्ट इमेजिन.
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि सर के ये एफर्ट्स और आपके लिए
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
नहीं, मेरे सेशन में नहीं हुआ.
सर तो बता ही रहे हैं, हम लोग भी थोड़ा बहुत तो करें. आप
मे-
लोग के लिए ऐसे
हाँ.
बना दो, आप लोग ही नहीं आओगे, then it is very bad.
सोच के देख कि इसके लिए कितना मतलब आई एम सो डीपली पैशनेट कि मतलब मुझे पता है कि पीपल आर नॉट देयर बट स्टिल वी आर कंडक्टिंग इट. आइडिया इज वेरी सिंपल दैट एवरीबडी शुड गेट बेनिफिट. इट विल बिकम ईजी फॉर अस टू मैनेज द पेशेंट.
Right, sir.
ठीक है. सो डॉक्टर दत्ता, आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे?
I think you didn't speak about the antibiotics, because these type of patients usually will end up in some sort of lung infection at some period of time. So adequate antibiotic coverage should be done, given at them.
Documented. If
Acha.
there is a documented infection, then antibiotic.
Documented infection.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Correct, correct.
But sir, the point बहुत important है. Aspirate किया, कुछ हुआ. The point ये है कि you should keep a very high surveillance of them. At any point of time, they are likely to have sepsis.
Right.
So you should intervene. Antibiotics.
And somewhere I have read about the role of cyclosporin in preventing renal insufficiency in this type of patients.
Cyclosporin.
Yeah.
This is news to me. मतलब मेरे को नहीं पता. मतलब I will also read cyclosporin.
Yeah.
Cyclosporin is basically the CNIs. They come into the category which are immunosuppressant.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Exactly.
calcineurin inhibitors, we call them.
They
CNIs
somehow
calcineurin.
have some role in preventing AKI in
Yes,
this
you're right.
type of patients.
You're right. Maybe
Because
because
inflammatory
they
one-
suppress, yes. Suppress
Please
immune
होंगे.
response.
Right, sir.
Because
Inflammatory
this
response.
extraordinary cytokine जो release होता है, they suppress that response. Cytokine strong को halt करेगा. मतलब
जैसे हीमोडायलिसिस का वो रोल है सर, उसी तरह का
Yes,
एक it will clear the cytokines.
yes.
Immunomodulator है.
No, thank you. No, it's a good point. I will read over it. Anything else, sir?
No, thanks.
Abhi, you would not want to share?
Very nice.
I read the AHA recommendations. I read the AHA recommendation some time ago about this post-cardiac arrest, and mostly she has covered all those things written and some more. So,
No,
like,
she has covered both.
yes, sir.
Which is good. The only thing is that you have to, I know the time was less, but then you have to make efforts to prepare your slides. Adya?
So I want to ask, where did she made her slide from the raw material, because the slides were actually very good.
Slides are good.
Yes, sir.
What was
Like
good in the slides?
she mentioned sedation and neuromuscular blockage.
And so this is not what she has written intentionally.
It is in the. It's mentioned in the journal everywhere.
I know she
Journals.
basically, you don't mind, but you have taken the journal and you have pasted it.
Which journal
Is
it
it
was?
Yes, sir. I've
So
read
the
it from
point
there,
is
and
that I know, that's fine, because I know from where we are coming. The
That's
point
why
here
she's
is that
asking for where you
Yeah, yes, sir. Because exactly she wrote like first sedation, then neuromuscular. Sir.
everywhere it is written like this. Adya, the only thing is that now your mind has got filtered and it knows how to pick up. So this is how it happens. When you read the same text 10 times, the 10th time when you are going to read the text, your interpretation will be far better than what you were reading it for the first time. That's why we say, na, repeat till it become your second nature. Huh? Usha, कुछ कहना चाहेगी? क्यों? बच्चों आप कुछ नहीं नहीं बता एनीबडी क्या नाम है बेटा आपका शिवांशु शिवांशु दोनों शिवांशु कीर्ति कीर्ति मयंक लोकेंद्र कुछ कहना चाहेगा बेटा क्या गुड ये जो होता है ना एक जनरलाइज कॉम्प्लीमेंट की गुड यू शुड ऑलवेज बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक अदरवाइज इट विल लुक लाइक ए फ्लैटरी कि बस हमें सबको तारीफ करनी है तारीफ करने में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है बट तारीफ क्यों कर रहे हो ये तो बताओ गुड क्या है जैसे मुझे मैं आई हैव टू कॉम्प्लीमेंट यू वन इट नेवर लुक टू मी दैट यू आर प्रेजेंटिंग इट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम यू वर प्रिटी पॉइज्ड व्हिच इज वेरी गुड मतलब
Here
फॉर
for
अस
the first time.
वहां पे भी कमी किया होगा अभी तो बिकॉज़
Yes, sir. उधर भी
नहीं
नहीं
किया ना
किया।
है
उधर
ना
भी नहीं किया।
because you were pretty young. No, I was. Let me tell you, when I was first year, I was not like this. This is the best way to compare, na? I don't want to compare right now, but the best thing is that when I was the first year, when I was given a presentation in my DA, my first presentation was on physics in anesthesia, and I forgot something. I forgot something during presentation of slide, and you know how I escaped? मैंने बोला ये मैं आपको आखिरी में बताऊंगा. Everybody laughed like anything. जब presentation खत्म हुआ उन्होंने पूछा बताओ जो आखिरी में बताने वाले थे. And I was not remembering it. I was not remembering. Physics in anesthesia was my topic, and I did the same copy paste presentation, and I was reading. A lot of anxiety was there with me. Still, it is there with me, but and the same people now we share the platforms in various presentation. They are in Gangaram. So point here is that ki, what I wanted to congratulate you because it never looked to me that you are presenting it for the first time. Maybe, not maybe. I would say you have a God-gifted voice which is going to be good for you if you use it to your advantage. So that was good. Secondly, look that you have worked hard. There's a reason why. Because 3 days it is difficult even to copy paste and to understand the subject, especially with the duties. So another commendable job because if you have started balancing these two acts, it means that you are going onto the track. So 2 points, constructive, good points. Now the things on which we have to get better. You have to make the slides. You don't have to copy the slides. There's a difference between making the slides and taking a copy, right? Because